Hey everybody, it's Sharon here from I Restore Stuff, ready for another Home Talk DIY. And today it's all things Christmassy. I'm going to be showing you some amazing, well it's amazing but it's so super simple, a really easy craft project that you can do, and it's wall art that you can hang on your wall for Christmas. And during this DIY demo, I think it's so easy that I will have another bonus, a few things to show you at the end, so stay tuned. But you can find me on the blog irestorestuff.com, and I mainly upcycle furniture and decor and things like that. So today we're going to show you some wall art, and I will be using these amazing free Christmas printables. They're vintage printables, and they were created by Christine from the Painted Hive. And so I will show you where you can get those from. I'll pop the link in the comments. But that's what we're going to be working on today, so please let me know where you're tuning in from. I have got my awesome elf helper here, Tori, my daughter, who's going to be reading your comments and telling us where you're tuning in from. So where are they coming in from, Tori?
Texas, Maryland.
Lots of USA places.
Yeah, Texas again.
Lots of Texas people. Hi,
Kentucky,
Texas.
Southern Indiana.
Wow, all over. Thank you so much, guys. And if you're wondering where I'm from, where my crazy accent's from, I'm from Australia, and I'm Sharon from I Restore Stuff. So let's get started. We have these beautiful free printables that were from, like I mentioned before, the Painted Hive, and Tori's going to post that in the comments. If you haven't seen that, scroll up already, that link. But Christine has created these. There's actually 4 different graphics. I've just printed off 2 here, and I have another 2 that I'll show you in a minute. And we're going to just make an easy way, and it's just such a simple, beautiful way to, it's like, I'd call it industrial farmhouse look. So if you like those looks, that's what we're going for today. All you're going to need are some of these, and I've got more that I've cut off up here in my big box. Excuse us, the Christmas tree. All right, so I've just cut a great big long, I think this is like 3 meters long, that you just get from the hardware store. Just some quite thin wood trim. So the wood trim's probably only a couple of millimeters. I've got a ruler, I can even tell you. A couple of millimeters thick, 6 millimeters. So whatever that is in inches, you can figure that out. In Australia we use centimeters, metric. So I just cut those a little bit larger than the actual printed page. So this is printed in A3, and I did print them out in A4 earlier, but I found that it was a little small for the space that I was using on my wall. So if you don't have an A3 printer, I got these done down at our copy centre, just Officeworks. If you're in Australia, that's where I got these done for so cheap. I was thinking, oh, I've got to, hassle, but I just did it online. A lot of copy places, you just upload your picture online, your image, and Christine provides these graphics at really high quality. So do that. They only cost a couple of bucks each, not even that. So, and that's in Australia, so we're always a little bit more expensive than what we are in America. So I cut these to a little bit larger than the actual printed size. So I would get your print done first. My printing place actually printed little white edging around, which I was not quite happy about. I was hoping it would go right to the edge. So I had to trim the white edging off to make it look like a clean finish. And I just measured, so I've only added, let's see, it's 28 centimetres exactly across my page, and my piece of wood I've trimmed to just about 29. So I've got about a half a centimetre on either side of that piece of paper, and that just allows for a little bit of overhang, and also where we're going to hang, we're going to drill some holes in here at the end. So first of all, to get my pieces of wood ready for what we're going to do, I'm just going to use sanding grit to sand off the edges, because I've cut them. You can actually see rough little bits of timber there. Can peel those off, but it's just super easy. And a lot of you are going to ask about my sanding glove, but unfortunately it's only available in Australia and the UK and Europe, but my auntie actually invented these, and it's called the Sandy Hands sanding glove. So I'm just going to sand those off, and it's super simple to just sand those off right now. And please, if you have any comments that you need questions answered, let me know. What's the name of this project? It's Christmas wall art, we could call it. Who else is asking questions there, Tori? Anybody?
Yeah, but we've got people from South Carolina, Australia.
Australia! We've got some Australians watching now. Yay. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so I've just sanded those ends off there. So if you've just tuned in, we're doing a DIY wall art using some free antique graphics. Now, you don't have to use these ones that I've used. You can use any antique graphics that you like. So what I need to do now is I would like to stain my wood. So we're just going to talk a little bit about staining right now, and you can see I've got some disposable rubber gloves here, because if you're using stains, they stain. Because as the term suggests, we're staining wood, we don't want to stain our fingers. So I'm using some disposable gloves, and I'll get a old cloth clean that I don't need anymore. I should have cut it a little bit smaller. And I'm just using Feast Watson's walnut. You can use, whatever stain you'd like, whatever colour you'd like. This is a proof tint. So we are just going to stain the blonde timber and make it look a little bit darker. So you could stain them to whatever colour you like. Just why don't you write in the comments, what colour would you stain your bits of timber? And Tori will let me know what kind of wood colours are your favourite at the moment. Are you looking for, do you like the blonde light woods, or would you like something more dark like the Japan black? So let us know. Got any comments there, Tori? Sometimes they take a little while to show up. So all I'm doing with staining, and this is a little bit potent too, the smell's a little bit fumey, but we just rub that right into the grains of the wood. So you can see that there. There's a little bit of patchiness happening. I'm just going to rub a little bit further there, and make sure you get the ends right here. So to do that, I'm just going to push in, because those grains are right at the end of the wood, and sometimes they're a bit hard to get the stain into. Watch this magic trick. I'm going to stab it on my cloth right there. Look at that. Darkened that end. Here's a wood end, blonde end. Yep, that works well. Top tip for you right there. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to stain the back. So just because I like to be a little bit of a perfectionist and make it all uniform. Does anyone else there, have we said any types of?
Light wood, dark wood, and grey.
Grey wood, yeah, that's a great idea. Grey wash for a wood. So there we go. So you can see the difference there. Beautiful stain. This is a lovely finish, and I think that will go nicely with our, see how it's a little bit darker, and this shade would kind of wash into the art that we're using it for. I'm using a walnut stain, so that's the colour I'm using. Any other types of stains there?
I would use coffee to stain.
I just saw that. Wow, coffee to stain. That's an idea, and that probably would smell a whole lot nicer than wood stains. That's a great idea. I like that. All right. So if you've just tuned in, we're doing a DIY printable wall art. It's actually Christmas art that you can hang on your wall this Christmas season. And it's not overly Christmassy. So that's the thing I like about it. I like to do things a little bit more. I'm not an over-the-top, fluffy, lots of decorations Christmas person. I think our Aussies who are on here might agree that Australians are a little bit more chill when it comes to decorating the homes. And I know Americans love to do it big, and it's beautiful. I've seen some gorgeous Christmas decorations and trees and ideas on here. Actually, if you go back, I saw an earlier Hometalk Live earlier about a beautiful Christmas centrepiece for the coffee table, and that was just gorgeous. So, putting my stain away, and we're allowing that to dry a little bit, but what we're going to do now is these are going to sit just here. You can see the visual. That's what's going to happen. It's going to sit right here on either ends of our wall art. So I'm just going to get my drill, take the gloves off. Any more questions there, Tori? Let me know.
What will the finish look like?
What will the finish look like? I've actually got a few on the things here. These are my A4 printables. So these ones I said I printed much bigger and they'll stand out a lot better on the wall. There's actually a couple of different designs too. This one is a very ivory, and then there's the cream designs here. So maybe, Marty, you could come in closer on some of these. There's the Nutcracker, A Christmas Carol, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, some gorgeous printable art. So what I'm going to do right now is just put a drill hole. Where can I go that you'll be able to see this? And I'm just going to eyeball this. You can be measuring and precise if you like. So with my drill, I'm just using a small enough drill bit that I can fit a piece of string through the hole. So you can test that out. I've tested a few. I did one that was too small, so then I just made it bigger and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of sit my hole in the corner of this piece. I don't want to put it in the centre, just want it in the corner in case my paper goes over that hole. So we're just going to eyeball this. Who else eyeballs things and who else actually measures? Who's the measurers and who's the eyeballers? Write it in the comments below. I'd love to know. Ready? There we go. Done. Beautiful. And making sure I'm doing it on this side again and not on the opposite side. So I'm going to go around about the same area. Please, if you're a measurer, just go right ahead and measure in this part. And are there any more comments or questions there, Tori? Oops.
Someone said it would be cute to hang recipes for the kitchen with the same idea.
Oh, what a great idea. Hanging recipes for the kitchen with that same idea. In fact, you could print out Grandma's old Christmas pudding recipe or something like that. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Great idea. What other ideas do you have for hanging using this method of hanging with your wall, hanging with the wooden sticks? And see how simple that was, just to grab the sticks, chop them up, stain, and you're done. So, nearly done. So we're going to hang these now. What I'm going to use is some double-sided tape right here. So, I'm doing it on these parts that I've drilled the holes in first. And what I want to do is get my double-sided tape and just measure a length along. And I want it the same, actually, I should put it on the actual print. I'm trying to think, which side am I going? So this is going to go like this. So I want to put it on this side of the printable, of the actual print. So I'm just going to pop that right across the top there. Please let us know your questions if you have any as we're going along. But as you can see, this is quite an easy little thing to do. Any more ideas there of what you would use or what you would print out to put on this? Oops, gone right to the edge there. Any more comments there, Tori?
Not yet.
And we're going to put one across the bottom right here as well. And again, I'm just using double-sided tape to put this on with. How's the Christmas decorating going, everybody? Who's finished their Christmas decorating? Put down finished if you finished your decorating. And I'm still decorating, if you have still got more decorating to go. Excuse me. Thumbs up if you've got all that decorating sorted. All right, to tape our piece on, I was going to flip it over, but I think I'll just flip the stick over and stick it right there. All right, ready to push that in. And my base one, so that remember, put the top one on that's got the holes in it. Put the base one on. We have a gorgeous little year, 1843 down here. We don't want to cover that up, so that's why I'm just putting it down a little bit lower. You can sort of put it where you like, and see how we've just got those edges hanging. Whoop. I haven't taken the tape off. Noob mistake. Okay. All right, laugh at me. We need to take the top of the double-sided tape off so that it will stick. Any other questions there, Tori? Any other ideas that people are lending?
You could use pictures.
Yeah, imagine family art too, family pictures. That would be great. There we go. So that, just press that family down.
Christmas music.
Yeah, gorgeous idea. So I'm just going to use some ordinary string here, and I've chosen black. This is hemp rope, I think it is called, and so you can get that from your craft store or Amazon, anywhere like that. So we've got that just matching the actual print, the what do you call that? The fonts there. So the trick is to see if I've actually drilled the holes long enough to be able to do this, and poke that in the hole. Whoop. All right, guys, give me your tips for poking string through holes. Do I need to drill my hole bigger? Or do I lick it? I've got a toothpick. Marty's shaking the toothpick thing. That's a great idea, babe. Poke it through with the toothpick. I'm sure I drilled these holes big enough. It's coming, yes! You're a handy guy, Marty Hankins, to have around. He's doing the video camera today. Thank you so much. It's a bit of a family affair. I've got my other daughter on another camera, so if you're wondering where those two different camera shots are coming from, that's where. And you know what? I think I've put these through the wrong way. I want the knot at the front so that it hangs on the wall flat. So, but I can fix this. It's all good. I'm going to poke it through the other way. Now that we've got a frayed knot, I'm going to taper that off. See if it sticks there. All right. Don't forget to let us know, where are you tuning in from? Where are you watching from? Where in the world? Have we got some other countries there, Tori? There's USA, Canada. Do we have anyone from Canada? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. We've got some people from Australia.
Lots of people from America.
Lots from America. Oops, I've gone the wrong way again. I'm coming backwards. I need to go backwards for this one. Just going to dip it in my water, my water glass. It's clean. I don't know what's better, licking it in front of the camera or just, let's keeping it real, people. All right, it's just poking through now. Toothpick helper, handy hint from husband. Awesome, save the day. So what I'm going to do is just tie a little knot right here at the end. Actually, I might tie a double just to make it a little bit thicker. We'll have a little rope. So if I had made the drill hole a lot bigger, it would have not gone through properly. So when you're making these, make sure you make your ropes all about the same size. Just cut mine about here. Alrighty. If you have just tuned in, I'm Sharon and I blog over at irestorestuff.com. And I usually upcycle furniture and home decor. Today I'm bringing you a craft DIY wall art. So there we have our gorgeous wall art. How's that? In A3 size, A Christmas Carol, in prose being A Ghost Story of Christmas by Charles Dickens. Gorgeous, free printable. And did you pop that link in the comments, Tori, where they can find this? Maybe just pop that in again. Christine from The Painted Hive has these gorgeous free printables, totally free. Today, I've got a little bonus for you because that was such a super easy DIY and we finished super early. I'm just going to show you some other ideas that you can do using all sorts of things to bling up your frames. So you could put those same printables in frames like this. We have this gorgeous, just a plain, simple wood frame. That gives you a really nice Scandinavian look, I would call that style. What's your style? What do you like? Pop it in the comments there and Tori will let me know. Scandinavian, farmhouse, industrial, or you could just put it in a plain A3 size poster art frame. Here are some things. Now, you might look at the dollar store, your craft store. I'm just going to challenge you to go through your craft store with some different eyes and different thoughts about what can be used for blinging up an ordinary basic photo frame. So here's an idea. You might have seen these lately just being put on furniture, is these appliques that some are made of resin. These ones were made of resin and you put them on, you can adhere them with liquid nails. There's also the effects appliques, which are latex. And I'm going to put that one on here on this frame right now. just to show you that first, and then I'll go through these other things that I've brought over here. To do that, we're going to use some contact adhesive and our trusty toothpick. And what I've done is I've traced around this little applique. So it's just going to be stuck on here, and then you can paint the entire frame to give a really gorgeous look. So you're just tracing around the applique like this to show exactly where it's going to be, and I have traced on this earlier just to save a bit of time to show you, but that's what you do. Trace around it because we have to put this contact adhesive on both surfaces. So I'm going to put the contact adhesive on this surface and also on the other surface here. So just doing that now, we've got to spread it around, and that's why I've got my trusty toothpick, because you want to spread it around in all of those areas. All right, Tori, have we got some more comments or questions that I need to know about right now?
For this project, they said they would
Yes.
use it in a baby's room with their meanings of their names.
Oh, what a fabulous idea. I love that idea. Meanings of the baby's names. Even favourite childhood storybooks. Imagine that, Winnie the Pooh or Cinderella or one of those Disney things, movies, storybooks. Anything else there? Oh. All right, how's that? Well, if you get it over the edge, it's probably not the best, but we are going to be painting over this whole thing, so it's not a big stress. Yeah, some other great ideas what you've done for wall art. Has anyone else done things with their ordinary picture frames? Oh, I'm trying to see where this goes. I didn't trace over this part very well. There we go. You can sort of see it there. And contact adhesive is a little bit smelly as well. I'm just kind of guessing where this goes. My pencil lines weren't too crash hot for this one. Whoops, it's still going a bit more. We'll just guess. Okay, turning that over now, I'm going to go on the back side of this and adding my contact adhesive all the way along. Whoops. Okie dokie. Oh well. All right, adding that. So when this, if you've ever used contact adhesive before, it's a great glue, multi-purpose glue. It does say it's used on wood, rubber, leather, cardboard and laminates, and you can use it to repair shoes and things like that. I've used it for that before, but what else have you used it on? Let's see. It does require a little bit of time to get tacky and sticky, so that's why I'm doing this part now, and then at the end I'll show you how to stick that on. How are we going there, Tori? Comments, questions?
Someone asks, why do you need to put it on both surfaces?
Okay, because it's Gorilla Glue. I don't know if you can get that in America. It's a contact adhesive, and so what happens is the two areas, they're allowed to dry until they're tacky or sticky, and then both of those surfaces get stuck together, and that's how they actually adhere. That's where the strength is when those two tacky surfaces come together. They grip. I guess they talk about gorilla grip. So you can see that's kind of curling a little bit now because it's got that glue on it. But it's quite tacky and stringy. So what you're going to do is just allow that to dry. So let me see if I can shift that out of the way. And then we're going to talk about some other, yeah?
Where do you get the appliques from?
This one was an effects applique, but if you look up furniture appliques online, you'll be able to find all sorts of different brands that are either resin, or there's the new IOD moulds that you can create your own appliques, which are just awesome. So here's another thing that you can use is, have you seen these little wood scrolly flourishes? Now sometimes people might use these for scrapbooking or card making and things like that. I've simply gotten a few of these little scrolly things and stuck them on here with some aqua here or wood glue. What did I use for that? Where is it? just some ordinary Aquadia wood glue, exterior wood glue, interior. And they've stuck really well. And so then I can just pop out the glass, always pop your glass out before you paint your frame, paint over the entire frame, any colour you like, and then you've got these gorgeous applique or wood flourishes that you can then paint over, add waxes to highlight, that kind of thing. So that's one other idea that you can do. The other places to look, so there's those, but also I just got these little burlap, you know, look in your card making sections in your craft store. You can find some of those things that you can pop on there. There's some more appliques like we did here. And I found these in the sticker section. There's just endless possibilities. If you look in every sort of section in your craft store or even in your dollar store, these were just from a dollar store, and these are embossed stickers. So even though I wouldn't, and they're very raised, if you can zoom in a little bit closer on these, I'll show you. And they're actually stickers, but if I was putting them on a frame, so example of something with a flat surface, I'll show you in a minute, they're embossed, but I would, instead of using the sticker part, I would use some wood glue or something to stick those on, but they're quite lovely. You could use this for a corner, on a corner piece, but I wouldn't rely on the stickiness of the sticker necessarily, especially from the dollar store, just saying, but I would use some Aquadia because you're wanting to use them on a frame. Here's another idea, just let me bring this over here. All right, who all has a beautiful and what are we at? 2017. What decade am I in? My goodness. 2017 wall hanging calendar. Here's a great idea for wall art, and you can use this as a gift somewhere. I found this gorgeous vintage 2017 calendar. It's not obviously going to be used anymore. It wasn't even used by me, but towards the end of the year, they're just throwing these things out practically for nothing. So look at the gorgeous prints that they have in these. Tear one out, cut one, and put it into a gorgeous frame. So here's one that I love. I'm just going to, you know, pop that out and put it into a frame because that's adorable. Look at that. So we've got so many different gorgeous ideas that you can put into frames. Use your old calendars. You can make a gorgeous gift for somebody using that. Here's one that was from the month of August or something. So I just used that vintage bike, and that is going to go into this frame here. Once it's all painted up, will look adorable. So those are some great ideas. If you're watching, look at this one. I went to the fabric store and found these in the button section. So look at these buttons that I can use for popping onto an old wood frame like this. I'll just take that one off for example. And you just use your strong glue, strongest glue you can find. Imagine those sitting there. These are actually buckles that, according to the packet directions, you use to put on outfits. Make another great idea for putting onto a easy rustic wood frame like this. I love the width of this wood. You can do so much with that. So let's just have a look at this. It's just stuck on there. Imagine that just stuck onto your wood frame with another one either side. So these are some other, just look in every section. What about, is there anything else you found that you can add to these ideas? The button section of your fabric store, the card making section, all things that you can add on to your frame. So you could either staple that there, glue it there, just to make another idea for a gorgeous frame. You could even paint this frame beforehand and then add this, or you could paint over those buttons and just use them as, you know, flourishes for your wood frame. So there's another great idea there. Are there any more comments there, Tori, on frames?
Not yet.
What to do for frame art? So many comments going, woo, 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 from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Woo, Marty, we used to live there one time or another. Okay, here's another one that I've actually used. Are you taking a shot of that Oklahoma number plate on my... Look at that, see, we used to live there. That was probably not even our number plate, I don't even know. All right, back to the DIY here, just saying. So I was talking about the appliques before. Here's a frame that I've already added the applique to. So here's one I've prepared earlier. We've added this one. This was one of the ones that was resin. So I've used liquid nails to actually adhere that to the frame, and I've painted it over with just some fusion mineral paint, or you can use a chalk paint or a milk paint, something like that, to add that to the frame. Looking adorable, isn't it? So then now I can add some little glaze or white waxes and things like that to add that to the frame. So I just wanted to give you a tip too on cutting your calendars up to fit your frame. So it's probably fairly easy. Most of you may have done this before. I'll shift my Christmas tree again. Just check this too. And here's our picture that I'm thinking will fit nicely in here. Hopefully it's the right size. We do have a mat behind here, so you have the option of taking that mat out or leaving it there. I think I'll leave it there for this purpose. I'm running out of space. Okay, so we can remove our picture that's already there or just use it for extra backing in the end. Now to cut the frame, I'm going to use the actual glass. Oh no, guys, whoa, hang on, hold everything, it's all good. Sigh of relief. Okay, I'm going to use my glass so that I can see how wide this is, and actually it fits within the frame, so that's actually really good. So just for example, if it wasn't, I could use my mat cutter right here. Getting a bit wobbly. And what I'm going to do is just trim this edge just to show you how to cut that off and get a nice neat edge. I'm just using a Frisca's mat cutter. I'm going to use the glass to be the edge. I'm just going to trim that right close here. So you find your bit where it's torn in the most. Get up real close with that. And zip it along the edge there. So if you're looking to get the correct size for your picture frames, just use your glass, put it on top. That way you can see exactly where you want to centre your image, say if it was too big for the frame. So I'm just going to pop that there under the mat. See how it fits there. And then we've got a gorgeous picture, wall art that we can give to mum, grandma, whoever you like. And it sits right in there like that. Let's just put that in. All right, now this is starting to get tacky over here. Remember what we were doing over here was putting an applique on there. So I'm just going to make sure I've got the right way up. And again, remember when you're painting a frame, it's always best if you can take the glass out, so much easier than trying to scrape paint off the glass that you've accidentally got on there. Much easier than trying to fiddle with painter's tape and line up the edges. This may be just slightly the wrong way. Wondering if the cardboard's the wrong way. I've got to have the picture the right way.
A lot of people saying they love your apron.
You like my Santa apron? Who else is getting into the Christmas spirit here? I'm just going to have to force that in there. Is it going to happen? Get that glass in. There we go, it's happening. And here's the part we see if we've got it up the right way. Yep, gorgeous. So look at that, brand new frame, ready to give away. And obviously you can do some beautiful glazing and antique glazing in there. Just check on that. Did we have an answer on that? Yep. Oops. Okay. All good. All right, so you've seen we've got these ideas for our Christmas art, Christmas presents even. I mean, you can even use these ones as Christmas gifts to a friend if you're doing a Secret Santa or something like that, where they get the present a little bit earlier than Christmas, obviously, so they can use it as their Christmas wall art. That's a great idea. Just moving back over here to our applique, like these ones. I'm just showing you how you can adhere it with Gorilla, the contact glue. Now that both of those sides are tacky, they're both ready to stick on to each other. So we just got to make sure we find the centre of my piece, which I think is there. Oh my goodness, it's always a little bit scary. Looks like I haven't quite got enough glue on that one. It's all right. You get the idea. You guys are so encouraging. Thank you so much for your hearts and your shares. If you haven't already done so, please share this video with someone who you think might enjoy watching the live. That would be great. Tori, you could share it on my phone to my I Restore Stuff page. That'd be great. Thanks, sweetheart. You're doing a great job. How about some likes for Tori? She's doing an awesome job here. Look at her go. All right, so just imagine then that we've painted this one, and then you can stick in your vintage calendar art as well. Paint that with some gorgeous colours. There's some beautiful colours out there to paint frames with. So slip that in there to give you a bit of an idea, give you a visual. It's not going to work. We'll just put it like that. Alrighty. So there we go. Is there any more comments that we need to? Oh, thank you so much. Yep, and we've got the Christmas graphics available from Christine at the Painted Hive. Don't forget, pop over there, show us some love. She's done an awesome work and she's giving them out for free. Is that not good or what? Another great place, I know people get printable graphics from the Graphics Fairy and that kind of thing. Christine's actually from Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. So love to support her. She's doing a great job. So we have, I think I'm allowed to say, we have a special Christmas treat for you that I recorded, a Christmas song. I know, I just went out on a limb there and recorded this Christmas song that is especially dedicated to all furniture painters and DIYers out there. I hope you like it.